Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts.
Medina County Sheriff investigators looking for whoever is shooting a pellet gun or BB gun at drivers as they're on the road. This is some of that debris from one of those vehicles. We're going to tell you what they're doing right now to try and find out who the suspect is.
I'm Dylan Collier. Coming up, a woman pregnant while in the care of the Comal County Jail says her lack of proper medical care while in the facility led to her baby's death.
Tonight, we start with this. Be careful driving around Medina County. Sheriff's deputies there are looking for the person who's shooting at cars along county highways. The Medina County Sheriff's Office says that nearly a dozen people have reported shootings near Castroville, Lacoste, and Natalia. As of tonight, victims have only reported vehicle damage, but the night team's Patty Santos tells us that there is concern the situation could become deadly.
Right here would have been the size of the shot before the rest of the glass fell.
Pretty good size.
Pretty good size.
Joanne Heyer says her window was shot out along Highway 132 near Natalia Monday afternoon. The suspect was in a moving vehicle going the opposite direction.
I heard what sounded like a loud pop.
It cost her $300 to fix. Heyer is worried and warning her community to be on alert.
It really has startled the community. We have families, we have children.
Medina County Sheriff investigators say 11 victims have reported similar incidents since November 27th.
And it was right when a car was passing by.
All reported similar damage to their cars by a pellet, BB gun, or air rifle.
My kids could have been injured, severely injured.
Perla Avila of Houston shared her story on social media. She says her son was just inches from potential injury as they left Lacoste on Sunday.
My 7-year-old that was sitting by the window mentioned that the window had shattered.
Sheriff Randy Brown says his deputies are patrolling and checking surveillance cameras, getting closer to an arrest.
My message to them is if you think this is fun and games, you're not going to be laughing when we catch you because it's very serious.
Brown says the shootings have been reported on 2-lane highways near Castroville, Lacoste, and Natalia. The suspect or suspects could face charges from deadly conduct to murder.
We're fortunate no one's been seriously hurt, or they've caused someone to wreck and someone be injured or even killed.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
So investigators are asking victims to come forward. If you have any information on the person who could be doing this, call Crime Stoppers. That number is on your screen. It's 1-800-367-2833. 2 hours ago, at least 6 of the 10 Americans freed from a Venezuelan prison arrived right here in San Antonio. We want to show you a video of them right there at Kelly Field. The 6 are being taken to BAMC. The other 4 Americans are being taken someplace else. The prisoners were freed as part of a swap between President Biden and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. In exchange, the U.S. is freeing 20 people, including Alex Saab, a close ally of Maduro that was arrested during the Trump administration. The swap is one of the White House's boldest moves yet in an attempt to strengthen relations with the oil-producing nation and also ensure the country has free and fair elections next year. Also joining the 10 Americans on their way back to U.S. soil is Leonard Francis, a Malaysian national and former military contractor who fled to Venezuela years ago after orchestrating a massive U.S. Navy bribery scandal. Tonight, thousands of migrants are waiting to be processed by Border Patrol, and border communities like Eagle Pass say that the surge is just overwhelming. Yesterday, Border Patrol processed about 4,000 migrants. They say that the group here represents nearly 30 countries, many of them Latin American. In addition to those, Border Patrol says another 4,000 people crossed over into the sector. And with the holidays just around the corner, Representative Tony Gonzalez expects the crisis to get worse.
In my district, local communities have no further resources to continue sustaining this migrant crisis. I am sounding the alarm as loud as I possibly can.
So Gonzalez says that he's sending a letter to congressional leaders and he's pleading for federal help to close what he calls a severe security gap. 120 migrants from the southern border are in Chicago right now. They were flown there as part of Governor Greg Abbott's Operation Lone Star. The governor says this group of migrants went by plane because Chicago started cracking down on migrant bus drop-offs. Since April of 2022, Operation Lone Star has sent 80,000 migrants to several cities like Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and New York City. SB 4 makes entering the country illegally a state crime. It allows local and state officers to arrest those who they suspect are here illegally. Immigration attorney Cristina Santiago says that not only is SB 4 unconstitutional, it's also hard to enforce. She also says that those who do get arrested under the law aren't going to have many immediate options.
If a person gets arrested under this bill, the person is going to get deported and won't even have the chance to fight the asylum case in court. And that's the problem with this bill. They are going to arrest any person who enter unlawfully. And person who enter unlawfully, they have rights.
Santiago's encouraging migrants who have pending asylum cases to have all of their documentation readily available. SB 4 is set to go into law in March, but is already seeing legal pushback by immigration advocate groups. So time will tell if that law winds up being upheld in court. Another San Antonio area school is going to close its doors. Trustees in South San ISD have voted to close West Campus High School. Tonight's vote was based on Superintendent Henry Isaguirre's recommendation. West Campus is going to close in the 2024 to 2025 school year. Like many other districts, South San Antonio has experienced financial hardships. Its board voted earlier this year to close Athens Elementary, Kindred Elementary School, and Kazan Middle School. Construction on Uvalde CISD's newest campus is on hold for now. The Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation says the project is going through a second bidding process right now. In a statement, it says the decision was made to, quote, ensure the best possible cost of construction. However, the statement also goes on to say that additional fundraising is needed in order to begin construction. The district, if you remember, broke ground on that school in October, and at the time, the foundation had said that it had raised 75% of necessary funds. When that school opens, it will replace Robb Elementary, which is set to be demolished. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton making headlines again. The AG, along with 3 of his aides, have been ordered to answer questions under oath in a whistleblower case. That decision came down today from a Travis County district judge. The whistleblowers are 4 of Paxton's former top deputies who sued the attorney general back in 2020, arguing that he improperly fired them after they reported him to the FBI. They allege that he was abusing his office to help a wealthy friend and donor, Nate Paul. You can read more about the case right now on KSAT.com. Just look for this article. An hours-long standoff came to an end just a little while ago over in Atascosa. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies had to use a loudspeaker, drones, a tactical robot, even tear gas to get 49-year-old George Robles Luna out of the house. According to BCSO, Luna and his girlfriend had gotten into some sort of an argument before he allegedly assaulted her. When deputies got there to the scene, the girlfriend was able to get to deputies, but they say that Luna then took his own 19-year-old daughter hostage and went back inside the home with a long gun. Eventually, the daughter did escape. Luna surrendered. Nobody was seriously hurt. New on the Nightbeat tonight, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines. They were found today during a drug bust. The Kirby Police Department found all of those drugs at a home just steps away from Kirby Middle School. Police arrested 3 people in connection to that house where those drugs were found. And in addition to the drugs, officers also found several trailers and vehicles with scratched off ID numbers.
Came here to make a point. It's not okay to sell methamphetamines. It's not okay to have cocaine. It's still illegal. You can't even use or possess it. So yeah, I think it's a successful story today.
We have yet to hear back from the Kirby Police Department about just how many drugs were found and how much they were worth. Of course, we'll keep you updated on air and online. It's been 2 years, hard to believe, and the family of Lena Keel still searching for her. That little girl was last seen on December 20th of 2021 at the playground at the Villas del Cabo apartment complex right off of Fredericksburg Road. It's near the medical center. Advocates for Lena's family believe that somebody out there has key information that could bring her home. Now, there is an age progression sketch out there. There it is, which shows what Lena could look like now that she's 5 years old. San Antonio police and the FBI are looking for clues in her disappearance. So if you have any information that could help them in their case, if you can help bring Lena home, call police. The number's 210-224-STOP.
Slowly turning damp and drizzly tonight. You'll notice it first thing in the morning tomorrow. And actually get used to the color gray until a very special day ahead of us. We'll talk about when the clouds will break, how much rain we could see between now and then in just a bit.
Get used to gray? What? All right. Well, speaking of weather, remember that coat drive that we told you about last month? Well, United Way's Project Warmth coat drive surpassed its donation goal. So for that, thank you. The local organization is in its 9th year of doing the coat drive. And this year, people donated more than 800 coats. Pretty cool. Their goal was actually 500, so they got 300 more than they were hoping for. More than 450 families in our area now have warm coats for the colder weather. Awesome. We want you to stick around. Coming up, she was a pregnant inmate at the Comal County Jail, and she lost her baby just hours after it was born. That mother says that staff at the jail refused to take her to the hospital when she was showing signs of labor. KSAT investigates the state law that protects pregnant inmates and whether Comal County actually followed it. It's after the break. A San Antonio area woman says that despite showing signs of labor, staff at the Comal County Jail refused for days to take her to a hospital, and her baby died just hours after being born. KSAT Investigates looked at the state law aimed at ensuring proper care for pregnant inmates and also whether it was even followed.
I mean, call me an ambulance, you know, and when I say I need to go to the hospital, it's serious.
Cherie Harley was booked into the Comal County Jail in mid-September on a bond increase in violation of probation. A test soon confirmed she was pregnant. And while staff at the jail kept her in the building's infirmary, the medical care she received has now been called into question.
There could have been a different outcome, and we might not be sitting here today.
Taylor Hunter, a Dallas-based attorney, is preparing to file a federal civil rights claim on behalf of Harley, asserting she was given negligent medical treatment and that the jail failed to accommodate her physical limitations under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Throughout the time from September 14th until November, she was never seen by an OBGYN. She was never seen by a midwife.
State law that revised Texas jail standards 4 years ago requires county jails to have OBGYN care for pregnant inmates. And if a pregnant prisoner is in labor, appropriate care, including prompt transportation to a local hospital, must be provided.
They're careless. It's careless.
Harley says she began leaking amniotic fluid November 1st, and despite repeatedly alerting jailers, wasn't taken to a hospital until 2 days later.
I was waiting to go to the doctor and waiting to go to the doctor.
Her son, baby Harley, was born November 4th at a New Braunfels hospital before being taken to a San Antonio NICU. The baby died about 12 and a half hours after being born.
I want to draw attention to the lack of prenatal care, the inadequacies of prenatal care.
In a statement, an attorney representing Comal County told KSAT Harley tested positive for methamphetamines during a court appearance, acknowledged knowing she was pregnant when she was taken into custody, meaning she chose to use drugs while knowing she was pregnant. The attorney claims Harley was provided medical care anytime she requested it. Quote, the loss of Miss Harley's child is a tragedy, but is not the result of any failure of the Comal County Sheriff's Office to provide medical treatment. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Harley was given a personal bond November 4th, the day her baby passed away, which allowed her to be released from custody. Let's take a live look outside here. 64 degrees right now. All right, you see the sky looking a little, I don't know, grayish. I mean, it's dark, but ooh, let's get ready for some more of that tomorrow morning, right? A messy commute.
Messy, exactly. It's going to be drizzly and damp, and that's going to be the trend for several mornings in a row until we get to Christmas Day, then when everything changes again. So let's take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. 7 a.m., it's just drizzly, it's damp, misty, however you want to put it. Roads will be a little wet, reduced visibility in spots, and even some road spray here and there if you want to hit up the local trails. They'll be a little damp and slick. 59 in the morning, and then by the afternoon, we'll just have the low clouds in place, right near 70 for the high temperature. But at any point, we could have sprinkles here and there, and even a brief light shower, about a 20 to 30% chance throughout the day. Still mild though, as I mentioned, right near 70 for highs. 68 Canyon Lake, 71 Castroville, 73 Floresville. This is what it's going to look like in terms of the visibility to start the day tomorrow. We're talking less than 2 miles and at times less than a mile visibility in some spots throughout the morning drive, the morning commute tomorrow, and then late morning. The fog lifts, still kind of damp out there, and we just have the low clouds. And notice these rain chances, 30 to 40% daily through Christmas Eve on Sunday. And that's really just the first part of Christmas Eve, through the first half of the day there. So about 30 to 40% coverage at any point. And overall, we're not looking at a whole lot in terms of accumulation. However, the morning drizzle, we have that at 100%. So yeah, maybe not a whole lot in terms of actual drought-denting rain showers, but there's still going to be a lot of dampness out there that could get in the way of local travel around our area. Here's the big picture, and good moisture streaming into New Mexico. That's good because they're in a deep drought in New Mexico. We know what that's like, and at least somebody who needs rain is getting it nearby. This wound up upper level low just west of California, throwing a lot of moisture into California. This is going to be moving eastward, but the main energy of it will be just to the north and east of us. So we'll have a lot of clouds. Gray is going to be the dominant color in the sky. But as our futurecast illustrates nicely here, not a whole lot for real rain showers. A lot of this is just light, sprinkly activity coming and going through the next several days, all the way through Christmas Eve. And there could be a brief non-severe thunderstorm mixed in at some point. If you're lucky and get one of those, you could get a quick ½ inch. I think overall, we're looking at the rainfall potential of up to a ½ inch of rain in south central Texas, whereas where the best energy is, Dallas to Waco to Houston eastward, 2 inches of rain. And you're going to feel the humidity as well. Mugginess, dew points in the low 60s until a weak cold front sweeps it away. And by Christmas Day, nice, low humidity, sunny, and comfortable, and we sweep away the dampness. Really quickly looking into Canada, here's where the really cold air is. Temperatures finally getting below 0 Fahrenheit in northern Canada. And all indications are right now that it's going to take a while for that cold air to really dislodge and push southward into the lower 48, probably not until early January. Around here, near 60 every morning through Sunday. Afternoons, right near 70, gray, that dampness. Not a whole lot to show for it, but better than nothing. Then we clear out. And look at Christmas Day, Steph. 52 in the morning, sunny, low humidity, 67. Go ride that new bike outside.
Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, I mean, nice weather, but not so nice that you're not going to mind if somebody dumps cold coffee on you.
Yeah, right. I mean, typically when you win a football game, bowl game, it's cold Gatorade,
Yes.
perhaps cold water. But yesterday at the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, it was cold coffee poured over head coach Jeff Traylor. And he has a different idea if he ever has to go through that again. And our National Signing Day coverage continues at Veterans Memorial and Clements coming up.
But I've got to talk to the Frisco Bowl. We got to look at maybe some warm, if the temperature is in the 40s, and maybe some warm coffee.
An ice cold coffee shower on a cold night is not a good combination, says Coach Traylor in Big Board Sports. We spent the better part of the morning covering National Signing Day when high school student athletes put pen to paper, committing to the next level. At Veterans Memorial High School, running back James Peoples signed on with Ohio State. James is a fantastic back and will take his skills to the Big Ten Conference.
There's so many factors that play into it being the Ohio State. Not just the people, but like the area, Columbus, my family's up there. Everything is just almost like a perfect storm, you know, with everything going on right there. I mean, they're super high on me. I was super high on them as well. The opportunities are there. And I mean, if there's an opportunity to go there, I'm going to go get it.
And out of Clements High School this morning, four-star safety Paul Minke Jr. narrowed his choices down to Duke and Washington, and that's when he revealed he's going to Washington to play football for the Huskies. His parents went to Washington State, and his dad played quarterback and tight end for the Cougars from 1996 to 2000, and now Junior will play ball for the Huskies.
I think it's really cool. It's kind of weird playing for the opposite team now because the Huskies rival the Cougars. Right. So I guess it's a little in-house rivalry now, but it's really good. My grandparents wanted me to do it. Pretty much all my family's on the West Coast, so they can enjoy all my games and visit with me, and I can go down for Christmas, you know what I mean?
We also stopped by Smithson Valley Steel and Veterans Memorial this morning. For those signings, go to KSAT.com. Here they were filling up the jumbo-sized coffee cup with cold coffee last night to dump over the head of UTSA football coach Jeff Traylor for winning the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl 35-17. The CEO Scooters said it was 8 gallons worth of Java, and yeah, his players got him moments before the clock hit 0. What a great night for UTSA on the eve of National Signing Day. Mary Rominger was there in Frisco, and she has more.
Hey Larry, what was shaping up to be a storybook ending for UTSA star quarterback Frank Harris, hoping to guide the Roadrunners on a quest for their first ever bowl game victory in his final outing, turned into a QB battle of 2 redshirt freshmen and sons of former NFL quarterbacks. Rumors of Harris not playing in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl began swirling early Tuesday morning, but it wasn't until an hour before kickoff that Harris's inactive status was confirmed.
He wanted to play more than life itself. He was on the sideline. He prepared Owen all week. He was a very good role model for Owen. There's nothing more he could have done.
Owen McCown would step in for the Roadrunners, his first full game worth of action since playing at Tennessee September 23rd. Marshall saw its starting QB enter the NCAA transfer portal, so the Thundering Herd turned to Cole Pennington. Josh McCown's son and Chad Pennington's son going head-to-head, making some pro football fans feel old.
It's obviously a cool deal, this era of former players that my dad's probably played with them all. It's a crazy world, though, for sure.
McCown helped UTSA overcome an early 14-0 deficit, throwing 2 touchdowns and racking up 251 passing yards as the Roadrunners took the lead late in the second quarter and never looked back. The game didn't look like we expected it to. Harris out with the shoulder sprain, senior safety Rashad Wisdom leaving with a broken arm, but it was one for the record books. In Frisco, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports. Larry, back to you.
Thank you, Mary. An early stretch doomed the Spurs last night after the break. The Spurs lost 132-119 in Milwaukee last night with Wemby out of the game. Zach Collins gave the Spurs their only lead 2-0, and then the Bucks took over from there behind Damian Lillard and his game-high 40. Once the ball was tipped, it took the Bucks 4 minutes to build a double-digit lead, 13-3, and they cruised from there.
Yeah, but we were just asleep, I think, for the first, I'd have to watch the film, but probably 4 minutes. It didn't help that we couldn't hit a shot, but I think our just mindset from the jump wasn't good, and we have to be more professional, start games better, because we played pretty well the rest of the way. And that hurts when, you know, we knew all we had to do was start a little bit better, be more aggressive, instead of getting hit first and having to respond. You know, that's tough, but we're happy with how we played the rest of the way.
Spurs will get back at it again tomorrow night at 7 at the Chicago Bulls, and hopefully Wemby will be back.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Thank you, Larry. We'll be right back.
A look ahead to Christmas Eve Sunday and Christmas Day Monday. Some morning rain and, of course, the dampness on Christmas Eve. Then clearing out in 72, so improving throughout the day, leading to a beautiful Christmas. Sunny, low humidity, 52 in the morning, then 67 in the afternoon.
Lovely. Just 5 days away. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for staying up with us tonight. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.